Movement in Battlefield 2 is a useful tool to increase your survivability. One of the most simple meta concepts of the game revolves around the increased difficulty of shooting a moving target, and ideally, players should utilize this information to increase their chances of surviving. Put simply, moving targets in Battlefield 2 are harder to hit. Targets that are harder to hit are more likely to survive, and thus, if we want to survive, we should always be moving. This information is especially useful in infantry settings, where quick, erratic movements will give you a massive advantage over your enemies. The main tools to movement in Battlefield 2 are jumping, crouching, and going prone. A very popular method of maintaining solid movement and a harder to hit model involves what's known as Z controlling. This is as simple as it sounds. You go prone and then immediately press control, so at the end of your prone animation, you trigger the crouch animation, which itself can be cancelled by letting go of the control button. This can be done repeatedly, and if you sprint while crouching and going prone, the distance that you cover is actually slightly increased, giving you a constantly changing position and a constantly changing hitbox. Movement also extends somewhat to positioning, and you should constantly be thinking about where your character is in relation to the enemies. Typically, being higher is slightly more advantageous, and being behind cover is also hugely beneficial. You may see some players crouching repeatedly behind cover while shooting. This reduces your deviation somewhat and makes you a lot harder to hit. It should also be noticed that instantly proning reduces your accuracy dramatically for a few moments, before eventually giving you more accuracy than standing or crouching. Additionally, zooming in on most weapons will give you a boost to your bullet accuracy. Remember that the most simple concept of movement in Battlefield 2 revolves around the principle of always be moving. If you can combine this with using cover effectively, such as utilizing walls, ceilings, lampposts, and trees to cover yourself, your chances of staying alive are dramatically increased. While this is quite a short video, I do think that the content and the theory behind it is very, very important for you to take and consider. Movement is such a huge part of the game, and while I can't give you specific cases where it's really important because I'd just be basically showing you me playing the game, you should really be thinking about what you're doing in terms of movement, what you're doing in terms of positioning, and definitely above all else, practice the Z controlling because that's where you're going to be getting the most return on your investment. I mean, other parts of movement just come with the game, such as where to position the chopper, how to hide in the forest with AA vehicles and that kind of thing. But Z controlling is definitely important, and getting good at movement and watching really, really good infantry players is important to improving your ability to play the game. I definitely recommend checking out some infantry videos on YouTube. There are probably some great ones out there. I know there are lots of teams that used to play the game and they have great videos, battle logs and first person shots of them, tearing it up on infantry only 5v5. I think there's a 4v4 ladder now too where there are some videos up. So definitely look out for those videos, guys. Look at how the people are playing the game. Look at how they're positioning. Look at how they move. And honestly, there's no real difference between them and you except for that movement. I mean, aim's really, really important in games like Counter-Strike, but in Battlefield 2, I'd say that aim is nowhere near as important as movement is because weapons in Battlefield 2 aren't as accurate and they do, not a lot of damage in certain cases, especially like the SMGs and that kind of thing. You need to put in a lot of bullets. The AK does one shot on a headshot, except for armored troops. But some other weapons, as soon as you start shooting once, that accuracy is out of nowhere, and you have to use a whole clip to kill someone. So yeah, definitely be considering movement, guys. It's a vital, important aspect to the game.